Hey, it's Don. Today we're going to look at something that always makes us money. Every time I pick these up, I get a very good return on my investment. Every single time. Hey, it's Don. Today we're going to talk about a collectible out there that I can always make money in, and I do mean always. I don't think there has ever been a time where I didn't make some good money from Bakugan. This is a box I bought for $5. You can see the writing on it. Some of these we have sold for hundreds of dollars. Even a small assortment like this here can still easily, any day of the week, probably get me around 25 or 30 bucks for even some of the more common ones if the cards are there and the whole works. So today we're going to delve into these. I'm going to show you a site you can use and how to identify them so that you can easily look them up on eBay and turn around and sell them for some decent money. Now, this is a Bakugan up close for those who don't know what they are and haven't seen one before. Now, as I said earlier, some of these will have a numbering scheme, 6 digits and 2 letters. Now, in this case, the first 2 digits dictate the year this was produced. These are like manufacturing numbers. 09, so it was made in 2009. Earliest ones, I think, came out in 2008, so you'll see 08, 09, 10 for 2010. The last 2 letters are actually the location that these were made on. Now, there also are 2 different types of cards you'll run into. A playing card with a character and power and the whole works on it, like this one here. And then the metallic cards that go with each individual character. So when you set the Bakugan on there and you get it in the right spot, it usually pops up like this one here. So, again, it goes this way, honestly, but that's the typical aspect of these. To me, this is like a pop-up book toy. Rather interesting, rather unique. It took some engineering to get these to do what they do here. Now, some of these expand into a very large character if you hit them just right, or they expand out in multiple different ways, as you can see here. Some of them have moving parts as well, where things can move like an action figure. Some have mouths that move and all kinds of things like that, arms and things as well. Now, some of them as well can open up to several inches off the card if you get the right one. So, fairly unique. You can see the height on this one here. So considering it's just a tiny small ball, a little bigger than a shooter marble or something, I think this is phenomenally well designed in my opinion. Now this is the wiki page for Bakugan. Now if you type in Bakugan Wiki and identification, you will get to this page right here. And I will include a link down in the description box as well. Every little detail you need to figure out is actually on this page. Bigger advantages here are like the color palette. This shows you the name or the designation by the coloring scheme on them, at least part of it. So you need to figure out which one you have and then figure out which one of the color palette versions you have. Now, I don't play Bakugan, never have, but my kids in 2008, 2009, right when they came out, were hot into these. Our kids had hundreds and hundreds of these, and they sold some of those for hundreds and hundreds of dollars, as have we. I always pick them up. Our kids were into them for 4 or 5 years, so I know most of the players in this. I know most of the characters, the figures, the Bakugan themselves. But you don't have to know all that information by using this site here. So from here they go by season. Another thing to consider too, a lot of them have a 6-digit number with 2 letters past that. So you'll see 6 numbers and 2 letters at the end. The first 2 digits of that are the date that it was made. So if it says 08, the Bakugan were made in 2008. So that can help you distinguish dates. Now, they all don't have that type of information on here. Now, some of the ones that we just purchased were from the first season. This was tied to a cartoon as well. These are from Sega. Sega made these, actually. So they're highly collected because of that reason. So you can click on one of the things down here, the Battle Brawlers Season 1. You can enlarge your screen to see these a little better if you can't quite see them very well. But all you got to do is figure out the design, and the name is directly underneath it. So if you figure out you have one of these, you'll just open it up and be able to look at the actual page that shows a little better picture. Obviously, you can zoom in and look at it a little more closely. It has all the information that you need to figure out right here on this page. Awesome source. There's 3 or 4 other sites just like this as well. So if you don't like the structure of this one, there are other ways to go through here too. Even at the top here, they have posters for pretty much all the seasons, and each poster actually shows the characters. So you can look at them this way if you would like to as well. You can flip through them and the whole works. So if you've got some of the newer ones or you want to do it a little quicker, you can do it this way. Either way, what you need to do is figure out the actual name of the actual piece itself. Like right here, we have Rock Hammer. So if you're going to look these up on Terapeak, let's hop over to Terapeak. So we've got Bakugan and Rock Hammer. Now there's one more aspect you need to look up, which again is back here, the color palette. So if we've got a specific one, let's say we've got this one right here. We can look at the color, we can come back here, and we can automatically see that it's a Subterra one. The color palette that they're using is Subterra. So then all I'd have to do is come over here, Subterra, and hit enter. And that's going to show me all of the ones that are identical in color to that. Now, each one could have some different power level on it. This one says 750G. This one down here is a Silver Rock Hammer, and it says 60G. So you've got to make sure that all of the numbers, all the corresponding information matches to make sure that you have the exact same one. In some cases, there could be a drastic difference based on those numbers. So it could be worth $5 or it could be worth $30, again, depending on it. Now, there are some specialty ones as well. There's some transparent ones, there's some prize ones, and there's also some that were just issued in Japan. Even on some of the posters, you'll run into some that were never produced but do show up on the posters as advertisements from them. Now, there's several different steps, as I said, that you'll need to do to figure out which ones you have. These look identical to the common eye. Until you actually open them up with one of the cards, it's kind of hard to tell which one you have. Now, from the color palette-wise itself, this is a Ventus. So you look at the color scheme. The main color is the main color you look for in the color palette, and then you look for what other secondary colors this one has here in it. Then we simply let it pop open there, and we can easily tell that this is a Juggernoid. So if you look through the sheet, the page on the wiki, you look for this design, you're going to find out that this is a Juggernoid, and it's a Ventus Juggernoid. Now there's one more aspect on these, and let's see where it's at. There's a number in the back there you can see. That little number back there is the power rating on this one. This is a 590G. Everything has to match. So if this said, say, 610, 670, 710 or something, you'd have to make sure that you were looking at the exact same one. All of the power grades that they have in these mean something. It's a special edition, has this grade or that grade, so you need to make sure that you look for that too. Now, on some occasions, you will run into some that don't have that at all. There won't be any form of power grade in them. So those could be special ones. They could be special release ones. They could be worth more than other ones as well, too. Now, as you can see, this one here is the Brawler's Juggernaut, and it's the green Ventus, 590G. It's the exact same one I just showed you. So you can see there are some value just in these little boxes. So I paid $5 for it. After fees, after everything is said and done, this one sold for almost $30 with the card, and I do have the cards for all of these as well too. So having the cards is a huge plus on these also. I'll easily make 15 or so bucks bare bones minimum just from the one. And again, I only paid $5 for the entire lot. Now here's the other Ventus right here. Now, if we put it on here, we can easily tell then which one this is. Now, this is an Oberus. These sell for pretty decent money. Again, I paid $5 for that entire box. I've run into them at thrift stores, garage sales, flea markets, antique malls, local auctions, estate sales, church sales. I do still find these fairly often. Most people assume that there isn't much value in these. But if you spend some time looking them up correctly, you can rake out on some of these because they do sell for some phenomenal money. Even if you don't want to look them up individually, they'll sell a lot almost every time. I don't think I've ever gotten less than $25 to $30 profit off a complete box like I got here. We have sold some of these for hundreds of dollars as well a piece. Again, here's Oberus, another one that we were lucky enough to get. This person sold 3 of them for $21.99. Shipping's around $3.40. So they're still, again, making $15 off of this one. So if I only sold the 2 out of that lot that I paid $5 for, I should easily get $30 profit just from those 2. Now here's an interesting one. This one does not show up on that color palette. This is what's called white or pearl. And this is a serpenoid, and you can easily tell again by clicking it on the metal, on the metal card here, and it opens it up. This one has the numbers on it too. Now this one you could find in tons of different colors and variations, but it's basically the exact same figure, just done in different colored plastic with different color designs, and again, different power levels on them. This is one of those variants that's usually worth looking for, as are the transparent ones. Now, as I said, some of these were unreleased. Some of them were specialty ones. Some aren't marked the normal way other ones are. Some don't even have markings on them at all. Those are ones that are usually worth more money. Translucent ones are usually the ones that I go after too. There's a gold one, which was a prize one, which I think we've got one here we'll show you in a minute. But they look similar to the other ones. So if you don't know a little bit about them, you could be passing up on some big bucks on these. This one's sold in the $600 range. Now here's an example of one of the specialty ones from Japan. You can clearly see the box. It's all in Japanese. It's an excellent example. Sega toy is right there up on the top. It's translucent. It's a gold one. Has a little chip with it, the Japanese version. Over $600 for this one. So again, the money is there. These do show up. The foreign ones do show up here. Die-hard collectors from back in the early 2000s would have ordered them. You could have gotten them at shows. Some of them are promotional items. You could have gotten them at a tournament or something along that line too. These are super hot now because of Sega, in my opinion. Sega helps push these because people are die-hard Sega fans without any doubt. But if you're not messing, you're passing these by, you're really missing out on some great opportunities to make some really good money. Well, there we have it. Hopefully that gave you some ideas, some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
You still don't have a Sega CD? Huh? What are you waiting for? Nintendo to make one? You have seen the games, right? Wrong answer, man. Show 'em! Want to see more?